of a spoiler than what happened at the show. So.
Okay, so what are you talking about, Mike? Just out of curiosity.
What they're doing with the world title.
Oh, I was outside smoking a joint when that was going on.
Well, spoil it. Like, what happened?
I kind of saw it like on Twitter. They're trying to put Daniel Bryan.
Well, okay. What they're doing with CM Punk too is weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I found that to be a little weird too. Although it was pretty cool. It was pretty gangster when he told Taz that at the very end. Beat me if you can't if I let you. I was like, you did it. You did it. Oh man.
I don't know. I feel like Punk's above Team Taz.
I agree.
That's the next feud. I don't know.
I don't think Taz can Taz wrestle anymore?
No, it's not him. CM Punk's gonna wrestle Team Taz.
Oh, okay.
So I was just talking on the mic.
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't think they want to put Punk right straight into a big program because, he needs to ease his way in.
That's fair.
I mean, he's been gone. He's been gone for a long time. We don't know what he's been doing. Well, I mean, but he's...
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was obvious.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say I thought it was obvious the fact that Bryan came out at the very end of the pay-per-view, after the championship match, that it was obvious that that's what he was going to be gunning for.
Question. Are we recording?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So we got a cold open, baby. We're coming actually hot. We're coming in hot.
Now?
Yeah. So one of the criticisms people have is say like, dude, are we gonna get like? Remember back in WWE when everything was a faction? It was basically the gang war days. You had the Boricuas, the Nation of Domination, and all that. Like, is that where we're gonna get
those
to?
Boricuas, DOA, fucking the Job Squad.
Yeah.
How many factions were that era?
It was basically it was gang fights. That's what it was. Every week we were working to see who was going to get in a gang fight. Is what we were doing. Is that's what people are saying. Like, are we going to go to everybody's in like a 10-person faction? Like, okay, maybe.
Well, that's how New Japan is. Everybody in New Japan belongs to some faction for the most part.
but their factions are loose. It's not like you belong to a faction, but their factions are not. It wasn't the gang warfare we saw in the Monday Night Wars.
Bullet Club was.
Yeah, well,
sure.
Yeah,
they still are.
But like
my favorite is in Stardom where you have to belong to a faction. Everybody in Stardom is in a faction.
Honestly, that's pretty much New Japan.
It's a Japanese idea then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Japanese thing.
Well, that's where the NWO came from.
Everybody thinks like that.
Say that again, Mike.
Mostly everybody in Japan is in a faction, even in New Japan too.
But again, they're loose because a faction like Chaos, I don't even know who was in Chaos when I was watching New Japan. Now, the only reason I don't watch New Japan is because it's not on Access.
They've fallen off big time. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But Suzuki-gun was like that too for a while. Bullet Club and Will Ospreay has his own faction, and but I get what you're saying, Dan. They used to do that too, especially 98, 99 WWF.
Yeah. It's the same thing in Mexico, man. You got Los Perros del Mal, Los Viper Revolution,
the original
Los Hell Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original. Yeah, there you go, man.
When you think about it, having factions though, it's not really a bad idea because then certain wrestlers are a lot less likely to get lost in the mix. When you have a wrestler that's part of a faction, you know that if you're doing rotations of wrestlers fighting in that faction, which it seems like, when you have places like, when you have Dark and you have Rampage, you could get rotations of people who wouldn't normally, if they weren't in a faction, they'd be lost in the bottom, cards. So they're never going to be wrestling. They're the Sunday Night Heat crowd, But now if you have them in a faction, there's more likely that they might actually, end up in a squash match on Dynamite, but at least they're in a match on Dynamite.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. Yeah. That's totally true.
I want to say it's kind of like the same thing with the NWO, WCW Saturday Night Live. You'll see like maybe Scott Norton or Vincent.
Hard Body Harrison, baby. Hard Body Harrison. It's all about Hard Body Harrison.
Yeah.
Who's to say that if The Rock wouldn't have become The Rock if he hadn't been in Nation of Domination?
Oh, he needed that.
That's true.
He needed that to grow, because normally when you're in a faction, you're put with guys that can get over, and you're always with a mouthpiece. Somebody's always the mouthpiece of the faction. So you learn from those guys. And we came in hot, baby. We came in hot. We saw. Yeah, I don't even know what episode. I don't even keep track anymore. I like how Mike said, and Anthony, you didn't catch this, but like Mike said, this might have been the best pay-per-view in American Pro Wrestling we've seen in the last 20 years, and he might have something there. He literally might have something there. We've seen great matches in WrestleManias, and we've seen the 2-night WrestleMania. When we covered the 2-night WrestleMania, we're like, damn, night 1 was better than night 2 and stuff like that. But like this was like, oh my god, up and down, just like so much. And then the end was just like we already knew we were getting something that was going to be special with the return of Punk, but like at the end too, just like I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to see the 2 debuts of those guys. I thought they would pace it out a little bit. Like it's inevitable, but no, man, they went for broke. And they freaking, all week we've been seeing memes about WWE and, talent meeting called and creative meeting and all this and that. And I didn't watch Raw, but like people, there were even memes about Raw when people were saying like, this is what you combat, probably the best pay-per-view, at least in 2021.
And
the
you Jeff Hardy thing, right?
Yeah, you get Jeff Hardy a 24/7 title.
Geez.
Not a title run, but like chasing the 24/7 title. That's where you're at. Jeez.
And now then you also heard the rumors of freaking Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen. His contract expired in January.
I could see that going either way. I could see it going he'll jump, or I could see it going like he's very comfortable, there. But then too, like those guys are his friends. Like the Bucks are his friends. He has a lot of friends over there. So it wouldn't be near it. And we already know, and I actually had a conversation, it was on Instagram, but somebody had posted something and on their page that I follow, and they were like, no, you know what? I don't feel bad that all these guys went to AEW, because they were just not guys that WWE was going to invest any time and money in. And it's true. None of those guys were any people that they were going to invest any time and money in. And I think Kevin Owens is probably one of those two. Yeah. They're not putting it. Go ahead. Yeah.
Ruby has already gotten more heat in one night than she ever did at WWE.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Dan, also, not to interrupt or anything, but also another thing with the contract negotiations with Adam Cole. I think one of the reasons was Twitch, but also Bruce Pritchard had a meeting with them. He wanted to go up to the main. He wanted Cole to be up in the main roster, but as a manager, as a heel manager.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which is like,
are you fucking kidding me?
That's what they wanted.
That's what Bruce Pritchard wanted.
As a manager, as talented as that guy is, the ring.
Bro, Mike, how tall are you?
6'2".
6'2". Okay, so Mike's the tall guy. Dan, how tall are you?
5'7".
Okay, Vic?
Like 5'10", 5'10 and a half.
Anthony, how tall are you?
5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, me too. I'm like 5'8", almost 5'9". Mike, you'd be the only one that got a push because you were 6'2". Adam Cole was never going to get a push because he's not the big dude.
I went to PWG, I forget how many years ago, and he was there. And I had kind of just stepped back into pro wrestling at this point, looking at all these guys going, Jesus Christ, these guys are small compared to, back in the days. These guys are 6'8", 6'10". The only guy that was really big there, this is before Drew McIntyre came back. It was him and Roderick Strong in the main event. But, and Chris Hero. Chris Hero was a big guy as well.
Oh, he is a big dude, yeah.
You're right.
He's about 6'5" or so.
Adam Cole's not a big guy. But you can't deny the talent, man. And I think somebody like a Marco Stunt is where I kind of lose, believability. Like, that guy, I mean, what is he, 4'10"?
I think he's like 5'2", dude. I think it's like 5'2".
He's like Dynamite. You're not expected to believe that guy's supposed to be a wrestler. He's the same position as, what was that guy who was with Blue World Order? There was a little guy that was with them, and then there was a little guy that was with the FBI who never really wrestled, and you knew what he was just there to get beat up.
Yeah. Well, Marcus Stunt was landing in tonight on Dynamite, and that's when I was like, come on, dude. Yeah, this pay-per-view was fantastic. I think the match that we're all here to talk about that the internet has been set ablaze is clearly Paul White versus QT Marshall. that was only like that was the low of the entire, my opinion. Everything else was fucking fantastic, pretty much from start to finish. I mean, a couple low spots here and there, but for the most part, I mean, they knocked it out of the park, and I think this is the first time that I actually felt like the tide had changed. Like, WWE, like, I know people have been saying this for a long time, but even Mick Foley was on Facebook going, we have a problem here at WWE, like, and it's not just that, like, is Dynamite gonna overtake Raw and SmackDown right now? No. But the momentum is building more and more every week. And Mick Foley made a great point that none of these wrestlers want to wrestle for WWE anymore because they treat their employees like shit. And when you go to a place like AEW where you have freedom, you're not on the road as much, and there's just an overall better working atmosphere there. Why would anybody else want to go to WWE when they can be on national TV twice a week in AEW and be really just as big of a star?
Yeah, and then at the same time, also if you're not on Rampage, if you're not booked on Rampage or Dynamite, there's AEW Dark on YouTube.
Isn't there
so
Evolution
I'm
too?
Right.
Evolution?
Yeah, I'm like
Tuesday, something like that.
Yeah, and also at the same time, you know, even CM Punk, I agree with CM Punk. I'm like, house shows are gonna be a thing of the past. That's true. I'm like, why would everybody want to be on the road? You know, almost 5, 6 days out of the week. You know, like somebody's, you know, that's a very hectic WWE schedule right there, man. You know,
I mean, it's not gonna be that long before you see that second hour probably is gonna be tacked on to Rampage because they're gonna have so much. I mean, they have to watch that they don't fall into the same trap as WWE with having too much talent and not, and nowhere to showcase it. But once again, brings you back to if you put everybody into a stable, then you could at least try and make an effort at it. One of the things that I've noticed is, the Dark Order is really good at, you've seen almost everybody on the Dark Order. I think everybody on the Dark Order has wrestled on, Dynamite, and they've probably almost all of them have lost, but at least they're getting on there, and that is the nice thing about the stables. But I mean, if you have a lot of people, they're gonna have to probably add that second hour to Rampage at some point. But at the same time, they could do it. They're probably gonna have to add another belt at some point.
Yeah, maybe another mid-card belt at the most.
Yeah, definitely another mid-card belt.
Or a trios title.
I think that's coming, actually. I thought I heard the trios title is coming. That they do plan to do that.
Or the women's tag titles.
Yeah.
I don't think they're there with that yet, though, man. It's getting there, though. I mean, definitely adding Ruby was a step up. Getting Jamie Hayter back, another huge step up. Fucking Charlotte jumped ship, which who knows that could be another huge acquisition for them. I think you're going to see more people jumping ship from WWE as we go on because the company's just toxic.
She won't jump ship, dude. Charlotte won't jump ship. She's too. She's the homemade star there. She's the homemade star. She's the 12 time
NXT, right?
Yeah, and she trained in NXT. She's their star. 12-time champion. Like, bro, she's not leaving. The money is there. Anytime she comes back, she's forced into the main event. Bro, she's not leaving. There's no way. Why would you leave that? I could see how her fiance.
Love conquers all, my friend.
You know what I mean?
Love conquers all.
Hey,
that's all I could say.
They said the same thing about Hogan.
Yeah, but it's not time. It's not time. And it's not to do with Andrade because she gets time off to go to his stuff. So she was backstage at All Out. She was backstage when Andrade wrestled Omega at Triple Mania. Yeah, so she was there. Like, as long as she's doing that, she's not anytime soon. Eventually, I don't know, maybe, but right now, it's not anywhere in the cards right now. No way.
Yeah, well, not now.
No, never say never, but yeah, of course, but no, not right now. There's too much money that she's making, and she's showcased too much on TV for her to do that. When Andrade was there, dude, it was
fair point.
I don't remember anything he did, honestly.
Another thing that might swing is that you're not going to see WWE getting the prime Japanese imports, especially the women, anymore like they were. That's definitely going to swing probably AEW's way. I mean, you look at you saw in the Battle Royal, all of the women that they had there at the very beginning, all back. Emi Sakura, Riho, all them. It was good to see all them back.
Yeah. Okay, dude. What? I don't understand why we invest time in Jade Cargill. I don't understand it. Like, why is there time invested in Jade Cargill?
Only 5 months of experience. Only 5 months of wrestling experience.
Show on TV.
Say it again. I didn't hear you, Mike. I heard Mick. I didn't hear Mike. What did you say?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I think she's a big jacked up bitch that they can showcase on TV. That's what they want, man. Somebody that looks like that, like, brings eyeballs to the screen no matter what. You know what I mean? But she's green. That's part of the problem. She's very green.
Oh yeah.
But
you can't just have one.
Her. I mean, she turns heads.
And it pays to have another female that could do squash matches.
Sure.
That's true.
Absolutely.
I guess.
Rather than just one person shouldering all of that all the time. You know, it's like having Big Show without having, Taker or Kane, or any other big dude at the same time. It was like it would be like if Big Show was the only big dude on the roster and he had to do all those squash matches. They would be like, you're gonna get worn out, and Nyla Rose is gonna get worn out if she has to do all those. I mean, look at how many squash matches she was doing week on end during the pandemic. Just carrying the women's division, killing everybody, but getting shit done.
Yeah,
I guess. But we mentioned some names that came back, like Jamie Hayter, and then even Chris Statlander. She's a big lady, like she's tall, so she's another one that can pull it off, and she's like freaking super strong. If you follow her Instagram, dude, you can see her like she'll do like handstands and walk around in a handstand, like she's ridiculously strong. So that's going to be
absolutely
interesting to see. I'm a fan of hers. I think she did well. But it's all about Britt Baker right now. She's on fire.
Yeah.
Britt Baker, baby.
She's the best Britt Baker match, besides the lights out match that I've seen to this point. Really good. Her and Statlander. The couple spots they kind of got their wires crossed, but the finish was fantastic. I thought that was a fantastic match. Big time.
The Pittsburgh Sunrise.
The foreshadowing?
Pittsburgh Sunrise.
The foreshadowing, you mean? As soon as you saw that, you're like, oh, dude, he might actually show up tonight.
Yeah.
Well, he was there because he tweeted out something like, oh, something that he get to Chicago. So we knew he was there, but we thought, oh, it's just that, Britt Baker, he's backstage, because he's not under contract anymore. He can do what he wants. So I thought that's what it was. But it was a damn good match.
Two legit surprises. Because everybody expected Bryan Danielson, everybody expected Ruby Soho. Was Minoru Suzuki, which shocked the shit out of me. That came out of nowhere. And Cole showing up at this event because you just didn't expect 4 debuts to happen in one event like this. But that's part of what made this so memorable.
And besides the 4 debuts, we got the return of Punk, which we were all like, let's go ahead and I know we're all over the place, but like, what did you expect to see out of that?
Yeah, I was talking about the pay-per-view.
Yeah, what did you expect to see
out
of
Punk? Punk?
Yeah. So he'd been doing heels, so he was in the ring, so he wasn't completely out of ring shape. So because he'd been training for that Stephen Amell Showtime series, which I haven't seen because I don't have Showtime. Has anybody seen that?
Heels? Yeah, dude. Yeah, he plays the character called Ricky Rabies.
Is it good? The show though. Is the show good though?
It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good to be honest. It's only been 4 episodes. I'm 4 episodes in. I think they've only shown 4 episodes. I'm waiting for the next episode coming in Sunday. It's on Sunday. Comes out on Sunday. The new episode. It's pretty good.
That's
it's on
cool.
Stars actually.
Oh, it's on Stars. I don't think Stars. Yeah, I get Showtime. I don't get Stars. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's been training for that, so he was in shape.
Well, the big thing that was, and I'm not joking when I say this, setting the internet ablaze was that he came out in the long boys instead of his trunks.
Yeah.
What do we think of this fashion design?
I could care less, bro.
Decision, should I say?
I could care less. I wasn't hurt by that.
You know what? I was actually hoping he would come in his shorts, dude. Like the way I used to have him in Ring of Honor. You know?
Why are you looking at another man's
wearing
legs?
shorts first?
Yeah, I was looking for, instead of wearing those freaky little bitty trunks he wore in WWE.
He's looking to see how tight they were. That's what he's looking at.
Well, I mean, just like anybody else, just like Jericho switches between, I think, depending on how he think he looks in them.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, since he gave that line about, I stopped professional wrestling in 2005 or whatever date he gave, and then 2021 I'm back. Maybe it was, because every time Jericho does that, he changes something about him. He doesn't come back as the same character. It's always something different. Is that him shedding? I shed my image of WWE by wearing different gear. That's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible because I never thought I would believe that I would see Jericho wearing trunks, but then when he came back with the old Codebreaker thing and he was wearing trunks, and I was like, whoa, that's.
Well, I meant Punk, but okay. Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Like just comparing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Punk. Yeah, I mean, you've never seen him really reinvent himself. I mean, I guess he reinvented himself from his original ECW character to, to become Punk, CM Punk. But I mean, other than that, he hasn't really had, he hasn't had that Undertaker or Jericho or anybody else who's gone away for time and then come back where he could he just has to be Punk.
Yeah. The match itself? Was
Great.
Darby the right fit?
The second best match tonight.
Vic was impressed by this match. You get like a 9.
You know what I was actually, because like I said, it was a very technically sound match. It was the type of match I would expect from CM Punk. Very, slow him down. And we know this kid is quick. We know Darby's quick. Slow him down. Some easy, some ground rule, technical match skill wrestling. You know what I mean? And also, if you saw the video earlier that I posted, I think on the group chat, I'm like, they stole that from freaking Bret Hart at the 1, 2, 3 Kids a SummerSlam match.
Yeah.
Back in '94, I think.
Yeah, there were it was the same spots. It was the same spots. A bunch of the same spots from that match. Yeah, I thought. Well, the first one I saw was the takeover where he sits up and then kind of looks at the camera like, not bad. I saw that first, but then you posted that, you sent us that video, and I was like, oh dang, I didn't realize it was so many. But yeah, no, I was totally, and it makes sense because like Bret Hart, CM Punk has been all about Bret Hart. That shirt that he had on Rampage, that was a Bret Hart shirt. That's actually with the H.
I was trying to buy that shirt, and I totally realized that it was from that Roots of Fighting page. That shit's expensive, man. It's like $48 for that damn shirt, dude.
Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Yeah, their shirts are expensive. I've looked.
But then he posted a pic too of him and AJ and Brett and his wife too. Like, so, they have a relationship. So it definitely was like, this is what he was doing. I can't tell you that this match made Darby, but it showed that Darby can go, that Darby can wrestle. Cause he's known as like, he's the risk taker and like he's unorthodox. And, and he is. But in this, he showed I can wrestle. Like that's what I noticed. Vic's right. It was a technical match.
That fucking shot he took on the ring post.
Yeah, but that was him acting like, that was him acting nuts too, but that shit looked like it hurt.
It looked like it hurt big time. I mean, I was like, ow. When I saw the replay, in real speed, it didn't look like nothing. But then when they showed the replay, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I know. It was when he threw him into the turnbuckle and he kind of dove through it, right?
Yeah, he did but he turned sideways and like rolled off of it, rolled off of it.
You know, it was a good spot. The first time Punk hit the go to sleep, first time he hit the GTS and like the momentum tossed Darby out of the ring. Perfect, dude. That was a fantastic spot. Like, he hit him with it, but he landed outside the ring. So
Same spot from Cena and Punk in Money in the Bank.
Oh, was it?
2011.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did the same shit, but Darby did it way better. Another great spot was a missed coffin drop. He goes off the top and Punk just sits up like the Undertaker, and Darby slams right on his back. The match was fantastic. I mean, it felt like a fight. It felt like someone was actually trying to win the match. I don't want to shit on Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and all these guys when I say this, but something that AEW has gained from these guys that have been in WWE is the poise and acting like a superstar and feeling like a superstar on a whole other level that they didn't have before. And you see that from Punk. You see it from Danielson. You even see it from Miro to a lesser extent, but you definitely saw it here in this match though with Punk. The guy he's got the crowd in the palm of his hand at all times.
You know what? And I think that's because what they teach you in the WWE system is how to do that. It's how to do it for TV. And those other guys, like Jericho has said this a bunch, and you hear it a bunch. Those guys, they don't know how to work TV because they've never worked TV. It's different.
Right.
You play up to different stuff, and you work the audience a different way when you're on TV, and those guys have never had to do that. That's why all their stuff, when we go see bar wrestling and all that kind of stuff, the defunct bar wrestling, it's spots, because that's what gets over with the crowd. But those guys know it's the psychology piece of it, which you have to do in front of the camera.
That and you've had over a year and a half of pandemic wrestling, which took the crowds out of. I mean, that has to be crippling to any wrestler's mic game to not have that reaction. I mean, that pay-per-view you wouldn't be saying that pay-per-view was as good if there hadn't been a crowd there, and you wouldn't have been getting those Ruby Soho chants, the CM Punk, Darby Allin competing chants, the all that stuff is just that contributed to it, and obviously that's contributed to some of the wrestlers not being as good on the mic because they haven't had a year. They've lost that year and a half of practice of knowing who they're talking to. So I mean, they'll get better. They just need to be given the chance. Unlike some people in WWE who weren't that good for a minute, and then they don't give it that chance. Cesaro.
Working with guys like this too will elevate them all,
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I'll forever be bitter about Cesaro, man.
The crowd was dead, man. It took a while for them. And QT Marshall and Big Show was next, and no one gave a shit about that. But even in the main event with Kenny Omega and Christian, and they had a good match. The crowd though they were tired. But the surprises at the end got them back into it for sure. I thought that was.
I mean, say what you want about Paul White. He's gonna get his pop because he's Paul White.
Yeah.
That was the match that was poised to get cut. That's why it was between the two main events, because it was like if we're running over and we got to cut a match, we can either make this one super short or just not have it at all. And no one's no one's the worse for wear because no one cared.
You know what? That match should have been in the pre-show. It should have been in the pre-show, to be honest. I would have exchanged the match, that 5-man tag with Jurassic Express.
So you forget that the women's Battle Royal was supposed to be the pre-show, but it replaced Andrade.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they already had the women were there. So, I mean, if anything, they should have just replaced the Paul White match with the women.
Hey, the 10-man match was good. The pre-show match was good. And it went about 20 minutes. It was a pretty lengthy match.
For a match that wasn't even supposed to happen? I mean, obviously.
Yeah, it was actually really good. Like, I pop when, what's his name, man? Not Mark Quinn, the other one. The private party guy, the smaller one. Every time he gets thrown up in the, he does that. Every time he gets thrown up in the air, he pulls that out.
Little bitch.
Yeah, he does a little bitch cry.
It's like the best sound ever.
Yeah. I wait for it every time he wrestles. I'm like, where's it at? I know he's gonna do it. Like he has to pull that spot. Yeah, every single time.
Knowing Dad, he'll probably have that as his ringtone.
Nah. Well, the other, yeah, not this one. that was pretty funny. But hey, man, after the freaking tag match, the steel cage.
Was crazy.
Good
that
God.
Was one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen.
Oh man.
That was a legendary, maybe the best cage match ever. I don't want to be hyperbolic on it. One of the best tag team matches ever. I mean, it was. I only have one complaint about this match, and it was the finish, and I'll explain why. So Phoenix does that high cross off the top of the cage, which he was like 25 feet in the air.
Yeah,
Pentagon is in the middle holding both guys. He splashes onto all three of them,
Pentagon
and the
got
Young
right
Bucks
up.
both act like they're dead. Pentagon gets right back up,
Yeah.
and they have to do a package pile driver.
Yeah, I noticed that.
If he would have taken everybody out and Phoenix just crawled over and pinned one of those dudes, that would have been perfect. I would have had nothing bad to say at all. But other than that, fuck, dude. This match had it all. It had it all.
I don't know, man. I think the dive off the top of anything into all the guys is kind of an overused move. Like that's not that's not going to do any damage. You were getting the feeling that what they were going to do was they were going to do that package pile driver, and he was going to basically land on the guy and spike him from that high, which would have been dangerous as shit. So I know I know why they went with what they went with. Like that just makes sense. But that did happen too, and I was like, what the hell? That kind of it was like you set up this big spot, you didn't really get this huge payoff with it, and then the pin was like super fast. When there was a ton of other false finishes in the match. And my God, the conditioning of those guys, dude, I'd have been dead. I'd have passed out. I'd have been like, no, because it was freaking ridiculous. From the shoe and all that stuff. Wow.
Yeah, I was waiting with that that Air Jordan shoe with the tacks. I was waiting for that to happen when it was on AEW. You know.
Yeah.
I see Candice in the Ray take one to the face one time.
Oh really?
Yeah, when the Bucks took on the world's cutest couple, Joey Ryan and Candice LeRae.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think it was at a PWG show.
We don't speak about Joey Ryan, but anyway. Is he dead? Never. Anyway. No, man. That was.
Up to Tennessee the other day.
That it was a hell of a match. It was a long match too, and even Jim Ross. I think Tony Schiavone just was like, "What are we watching?" And Jim Ross was like, "A classic." Is like, "What? This is like, my God." Just it went on, man. Both masks are ripped and they're bloodied, and then they had to go with the kids, dude. They had to win the belts, and they get out and Penta's kids right there, like to do that. I'm like, oh man, not the kids. You can't do this to me. You can't do the kids. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man. The day you knew it was like it meant a lot to them. It meant a lot to them. And his kids, I don't know if you've noticed this, but his kids were audibly like flashbacks to Mick Foley, getting beat with all the damn chairs. Like I just watched my dad do all this crazy stuff, and now it's just like, yeah, I got tears in my eyes. They're tears of joy, but I'm worried about like, he just pulled a lot of crazy shit, going on too. Yeah. So that was something else.
My hardest debate with this cage match, bro, comparing the ones with the NXT Takeover, like the War Game ones.
Yeah,
those are pretty good too.
Those
so it's very hard to say that's the greatest one because it's like even the women's cage match at NXT way back, a couple years ago was also pretty good too.
That was actually a good match too.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to compare all three of them, But overall, I think this was probably the match of the night. The two of the arguably the best tag teams in the world. Exclusively to AEW. That's, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, that's true too. It's AEW talent. Yeah, you're right. That was good. That was good. I'm trying to remember what else. I mean, we watched a lot. But I'm trying to remember if there's any of the other matches that were there. The Battle Royal, we kind of talked about a little bit.
You know what, the Battle Royal, to be honest, I think in the last part of the Battle Royal, in my opinion, I think the finish was kind of flat, in my opinion.
Oh, it was? Yeah.
It was very flat, bro.
I thought that once Ty Conti was eliminated, it was obvious who was going to win.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to be
She was my pick from I thought she was gonna win.
Yeah. She's one. I'm telling you, man, and you know that's my girl.
You've been talking about her for a while.
She's just got to bite her time. She's just got to bite her time. It's there. And you know what? A separate. Go ahead, Vic.
I just find it funny that Stanlander was in the battle royal as well after she lost. She lost the match to Britt Baker earlier.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was, dude.
I remember that.
I don't think so.
I think she was, dude.
No, it was somebody else, dude. Hater was in there.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't.
I gotta go back.
Who did Britt Baker wrestle during the pay-per-view?
Statlander.
She did wrestle
Statlander.
Yeah, but I thought I saw Statlander.
I don't remember her being in the Battle Royal.
Man, this ain't WWE where you put Becky in after she loses, or.
Well, I'll speak on something while Dan's fact-checking Vic here. The first surprise of the night was in the Moxley match. He had a decent match with, now I'm drawing a blank. Former IWGP.
Come on, Vic. That's Vic.
Oh, Kojima.
Kojima. Yeah, there you go.
Kojima.
But out comes Minoru Suzuki, and you thought it was just going to be a stare down, and they end up throwing for a while, and he hits him with a God's pile driver and leaves him laying, and that ended up being the main event of Dynamite tonight. But that was the first surprise of many. I was shocked as hell to see him there. And everybody else feel the same way?
I had to go back and do some digging, but once I saw it, I was like, oh shit, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, okay, so did you hear Jim Ross say, he's like, I'm afraid of this man. Worked for New Japan, doing the stuff, he's done the commentary for the stuff here in the States, and Jimmy was like, I'm afraid of this man. Basically, this is a mean motherfucker, is who this dude is. And you can't deny that. He was laying in those forearms, dude. Every freaking guy does. Every guy in Japan lays in those forearms, man. But when Suzuki freaking lays in those forearms, dude, I don't want to take one. I would never take one of those. That shit look like it hurt.
Strong style.
John Callis,
yeah.
when he used to commentate for New Japan, every time Suzuki would come out, Don Callis would get up and run and jump in the crowd from him every single time. Fantastic.
That's
the
funny.
murder grandpa, as they call him.
Yeah, he's done some MMA, he's done some mixed martial arts and stuff.
That's King of Pancrase.
Oh yeah, he's badass.
Did he wrestle at FMW?
Yeah, I think so.
Shit.
Yes.
That's a badass motherfucker.
I was just watching a fight of him and Keith Lee. That was pretty cool.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Suzuki, they're saying, is going to be in the States for a minute. He's not. He may be on Dynamite more than once.
Lance Archer was posting. He was posting photos of him, and then they even mentioned during that main event they did mention Lance Archer as well. Maybe something there. Partners.
He's in Suzuki-gun. He's in their New Japan stable. Well, he was.
I wonder if Suzuki's being booked for that show in Riverside over at the Municipal Auditorium in October.
He probably is.
I gotta check that out, man.
Well, I got your confirmation here, man. No, Statlander wasn't in the Battle Royal.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to find somebody who looks like her, and I can't find out who that is.
Never mind then.
A little redhead Irish one. Isn't she Irish?
Sky Blue, Riho, Anna Jay, Kara Hogan, Jade Cargill, Abaddon. Abaddon was in there. We haven't seen her in a while. Kylan King, who's a brunette. Layla Hirsch, who I think is super short. Nyla Rose. Julia Hart is the one that got pulled. She got injured. Big Swole, Allie, Red Velvet, Thunder Rosa, Ty Conti, Penelope Ford, Diamante, Rebel, Jamie Hayter, Emi Sakura, and Hikaru Shida.
Okay.
Not the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Who needs to do? She needs to come back. They need to do something with Hikaru Shida.
You guys are all big punk rock fans, so what'd you think of Ruby Soho's debut?
Okay, so I heard I don't remember where I saw this, but Lars does a podcast. He has a podcast with a couple of guys. He's a huge pro wrestling fan. So they had Ruby on the podcast, and she had said, I'm going to go by Ruby Soho. Oh, I would love to try, to get the rights to that. And Lars said, oh, I can make that happen. Let me send a couple of text messages. And he did. So it's hers.
Nice.
So Tony Khan, I don't think paid anything for it. Rancid gave it to her. So
by the way,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Did you guys hear what Europe wanted to charge Tony Khan to have Brian Danielson use the final countdown?
I didn't hear the number. I didn't hear the number, but I heard that it was inconceivable even for Tony Khan.
$50,000 an appearance.
$50,000 for that stupid song?
Oh my god.
Who the hell do they think they are?
By Europe?
Who the hell do they think they are? It's just a 2-hit wonder, that's it.
Bro,
what was even the song? Just Final Countdown and
the
Carrie?
final
That's
countdown.
it?
That's stupid.
They're the only band in the 80s that will start their concert with that song and end their concert with that song.
Well,
It Wagner fucking write a song.
At least Wagner is public domain.
Yeah, and it's a remix too. His friend did it. I heard that. It was a remix by a friend of his. Bro, for $50,000 I could buy the entire Toto catalog.
Oh, shit. Let's be honest.
Wow.
Most people hear that now, Flight of Valkyries, and they associate that with Danielson. I don't think you're at the top they got if you start playing a final countdown.
Yeah. Vic lost it, dude. Come on, man, I could. No one cares about that. Or America, the rock group, not the country. But their entire catalog, dude. $50,000. Dude,
hey, that song "Cross with No Name" was pretty cool. Okay.
Hate that song.
I could probably buy the whole Doobie Brothers catalog with that shit.
Bro, you can buy the whole
exactly.
Doobie freaking catalog with a lid. That's all you need to buy the Doobie Brothers catalog. Just give them a lid of the good shit, and you got your set, bro.
Throw in Kansas, and we got a deal.
Hey,
Kansas got that supernatural money, bro. Kansas got that supernatural money.
Hey, which Doobie you be?
I sat in with the Doobie Brothers, man. That old Chong joke.
There you go.
That's freaking funny, dude. Oh, man.
How
come, why do I feel like Eddie Kingston never wins?
I actually thought he had a chance in this one.
Yeah, I did. He did. He's one of those guys that call a good hand.
Like, Dark must be just, I've never seen Dark. So, it's like, QT Marshall is coming out with a 22-5 record. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, that's what I mean.
He's just going on there torturing jobbers.
They brought out, like, Eddie Kingston was coming out, and it literally said 8-1 in his last 9 matches. I'm like, bro, I don't remember the last match he won. I guess they must all be tags with John Moxley, because I don't remember him winning the singles match.
Must have been on Dark, bro.
Must have been. That's crazy, dude.
Was the one lost to Mox?
Man, maybe. I don't know, man. That's crazy, though.
And they just 9 straight wins on Dark.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know.
I feel like he's just like a developmental jobber, though. I mean, not really like that, but you know what I mean. Like, he's there to. I mean, I know that obviously, Miro doesn't need to get over, but he has to fight somebody. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that belt.
I hope they keep going with that, because I'd like to see Eddie Kingston eventually get that belt. I think he could carry that belt.
Moment, I kind of think of Eddie Kingston as like a Mick Foley. Like, Mick Foley didn't win a ton of matches. He almost got over more losing, right?
Yeah.
And Eddie Kingston's so fucking good on the mic. When that moment comes where he does finally get that strap, which I wouldn't put the world title on him, but maybe the TNT title or something, it's going to be a big moment, if you do it, especially if you do it in New York or something like that.
Hey, with a Redeem D's Nuts t-shirt. With a Redeem D's Nuts t-shirt. That was a hell of a line.
Or even put the tag belts on him and Mox.
Yeah. At Walmart. Redeem these nuts. Eddie Kingston. AEW on the back, bro. That's freaking badass.
Well, right now, I'm actually checking the rankings for AEW right now. Mm-hmm. The number one contender right now for either both the world title or the TNT title is actually Orange Cassidy with a 15-1-1 record.
Yeah, he wins a lot, dude. He wins a lot.
Yeah, followed by Hobbs is 15-2, Jungle Boy 13-2, Christian Cage 7-1, and the number 5 ranked contender John Moxley at 12-2.
So they took Moxley's out of the title picture right now. Well, he hasn't been there either. He hasn't been. He just had his kid. Page just had his kid, so he hasn't been around. Yeah, Hangman hasn't been there.
So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about too. We kind of touched on it. Like, so Danielson, spoilers, he came out tonight and confronted Kenny Omega and challenged him to a match. They've been building this story with Hangman and Kenny Omega, right? Because they had the tag belts, they teased the turn, they had the match, Kenny Omega won. That's how he got the title shot against Moxley. So the natural thing to do would be to have Omega drop that belt at Full Gear to Hangman. But where are they going with this Danielson thing now? Are they going to have Danielson lay down for Kenny Omega and put the belt on Danielson?
Screw job somehow. Screw job somehow.
Because
you know all these guys are there, like, you know, these WWE guys are there, so to speak. I mean, obviously they're there for the love of what they do, but all these guys, I mean, do you think they really have an ego? Like, I gotta be champion? Or is it more like, let's make this fun and let's elevate these other guys? Because that's what I think it is. I think it's like, I'm making a good paycheck and I can get these guys over. That's kind of my job. I'm gonna win matches along the way, but my job really is to teach these other guys how to get over and get them over. Because you got that. You legitimize Kenny if he beats, I almost called him Brian Danielson. You legitimize him because you beat a WWE guy.
Tony Khan, though. And Tony Khan has made it clear in recent interviews that he's the one that's running the show.
Yeah.
You want more eyes on the product. Do you put the belt on a CM Punk or a Brian Danielson right now with the momentum you got going and send them to whatever talk show is popular these days with the belt? You know what I'm saying? Making the media tours, getting more eyes on you because people know Brian Danielson. People certainly know CM Punk, you know?
Saying it like that, he's done it already. Saying it like that, he's done it. He did that with Jericho. That's what he did with Jericho. That's why Hangman didn't win that belt the first time. Jericho was the name. We've been talking about that for like 2 years. Like, that's why he did it, and it made sense.
I say in my opinion, I think they will set up a match between Danielson and Omega at Full Gear. Omega will go over Danielson, and then I want to say Hangman will probably come out at that event. I think Hangman eventually will get the belt from Omega.
Oh yeah, he's their long term like that. They've been building that since they started. Like, Hangman is the guy, but it needs to be. And I think part of it's him. Part of it is like, let's tell this long term story, because they just, you know what, we didn't talk about, and we can keep talking about this stuff. But they did that. That's what they did with Jericho. Jericho and MJF has been building for how long? That's a long. And Jericho even said himself, this is the longest we've ever told a story, and it's been a long time. From them, you know, fighting to him joining the inner circle, and then that going for a few months, and then, you know, just to build up to the what do they call that? The 5. What do they call that?
Labors of
Labors of Jericho or whatever. Yeah, to all that. I mean, how long have we built this story? Has it been over a year that they built this story?
Around it's been almost like, big time.
Yeah, so I mean that, you know, that's what they're doing with Hangman. They're building this really long story because you got to build the guy. He's gonna be their name guy. It's just people got to know who he is. He's over his shit.
There was seeds planted for that story long before the Jericho Orange Cassidy storyline that filled up most of the pandemic, the middle part of the pandemic. So, I mean, I think it's a storyline that they had planned on probably telling before the pandemic happened, but they kind of put it off and let it just kind of simmer.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, once things were getting back, they were just like, bring it on.
Yeah. And they do that a lot. There's always something that's just like, because that's the way it works, right? You plant something and it's like, we're going to get to this in 2 years. Like 2 years, like Vince, that's how Vince used to do it. Before he goes in the back of Raw and tears up scripts and writes all shit all over again. But he used to like plant seeds years before you'd get to something.
Look at the long story that was the Vince is the higher power. How long did that storyline go on for, and how the seeds of that storyline were almost a year and a half, 2 years, wasn't it? I mean, Jesus. Vince has the higher power with Undertaker and the corporate ministry and all that shit. That shit was long.
And isn't that not the payoff they wanted? I don't think that's the payoff that they actually wanted. I don't think it was originally
Stephanie
supposed to be
on a
Vince.
cross.
Yeah. That shit.
Hey, changing the subject, where does the Pinnacle go from here, man? Seriously, I have not seen anything. It seems like MJF just kind of like separate. It seems like MJF and freaking and FTR, they just separated from Pinnacle in a way.
Rumors were FTR might leave.
What was that?
Hello?
I said rumors were FTR might leave. That they were thinking about leaving after their term is up, because I don't think they signed long term.
Going back to WWE?
No, probably not. But like not being held there.
NWA actually.
We're at the.
They're thinking about signing with Billy Corgan at NWA.
We're at the point right now that within the next year we're going to see the original contracts for the AEW people up. Within the next year we're going to see that, and we're going to see some people who decide to leave. What the hell is Joey Janela doing? Who's one of the original signings? What is he doing? Sonny Kiss. What's Sonny Kiss doing? Yeah, that's fine. Maybe they stick around for that. I got this dark payday, and I can still work the independents. So you got that going on. But like, if you want full control, you're going to go somewhere else. If they're fine with the pay that they're getting to do the darks and the elevate, okay, I understand that. But we're going to see in the next year what happens, because a lot of those guys' contracts are going to come up.
Isn't Joey still behind the scenes of the Penelope? With Penelope, the storyline, or
no, I don't think he's got nothing to do with it anymore. He still had a storyline with Sonny Kiss going on, because he kind of turned his back on Sonny Kiss. But,
yeah, there's a feud going on. I was watching that on Dark earlier today, actually. There's a little rivalry. There's a little bit of a heated rivalry between Sonny Kiss and Janela.
That's kind of the problem we were talking about too, though. Is they keep signing guys because Meltzer is doubling down and tripling down that Bray Wyatt's going to be there soon. If Kevin Owens comes in, if Sami Zayn comes in, the Joey Janela's and Sonny Kisses of this world, how the fuck are they going to get these guys on TV when you've got guys like Bray Wyatt and Kevin Owens? Yeah, those kinds of guys are going to have to go, because
he's still got that restraining order on CM Punk.
You're not going to give TV time to those guys. And Kevin Owens, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
I was still wondering. It's a legitimate question. I was still wondering about that. Do they still have that thing going?
I think they're cool. Like, they're okay now, but he did have that stuff against him. And I told you, when CM Punk debuted on Rampage, freaking Colt Cabana was at Gathering of the Juggalos.
Yeah.
He wasn't even there.
He wasn't even there.
No, he wasn't even there. And I told you that since day one. Like, dude, how's that going to work out with Colt Cabana? Because I don't think Colt Cabana is just an honor. I think he actually works in the back. I think he's a trainer or a producer. He has another role in the back. He's not just there, to wrestle, because the dude's been in the game a long time.
Right.
Yeah, and he's been on TV, and he's been in NWA, all different kinds of versions of it. So like, he's got a lot of experience to give those guys who are newer, like like to pass his knowledge kind of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's fine with the payday, bro.
And also changing the subject now with the whole rebranding of NXT. We heard those rumors from the backstage WWE office that they don't want to hire any guys over 30. They want to hire big guys, athletes. They want to get rid of the midgets. So chances are Gargano, Ciampa, and a couple of others are going to be released pretty soon. So, which is kind of a damn shame, because
this Tuesday was the last one, right? The rebrand.
Yeah, they're rebranding everything, dude.
Yeah, next week is the new version.
So whether in a couple of weeks we'll probably see some of these releases, but like only Lorgan and it's just a couple of some of these small guys on NXT. So I'm like, it really sucks. They don't want to hire professional wrestlers. They want to hire athletes who are big, who have no wrestling experience. Oh, don't worry, we'll trade you here. Yeah, that doesn't fly, man. So don't be surprised you Gargano down the road, or at AEW pretty down the road.
Yeah, I thought that. As soon as they said this, I'm like, there goes Gargano. Because dude, I've met Johnny Gargano in person. I think he's shorter than me. Like honestly.
Yeah, he's
Ciampa too.
Guy.
They're shorter than me. So yeah, it's like if that's what they're gonna go with, those guys, they're in trouble. They're in trouble as far as that. But they'll be fine wherever they go, dude. They're gonna be fine because they're known names. They're known names in the wrestling game, and it's just like look at somebody like Gianna Perazzo. You know what I mean? She's the Reina champion, right, Vic? She's got that. Yeah. She's the Impact champion. She's winning. She was just wasn't she just on Empower? She was just on the NWA, the women's pay-per-view, doing that. Dude, she's doing fine. Chelsea Green too. Chelsea Green is doing the same thing, bro.
I just find it funny about how a lot of people were expecting Tessa Blanchard to appear on AEW on the pay-per-view.
Hey, I just read somewhere that said that WWE and AEW don't want to touch her.
Yeah.
Like she is just
I was gonna mention that.
You don't touch that one, man. She's too nuclear. Like she's just not.
It's so sad because talent-wise, like in between the ropes, he's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There's maybe nobody better in terms of women's talent, but too many stories, too many, the racist shit, and then the way she handled the Impact World Championship reign and refusing to give the belt back, and just all kinds of horrible crap.
Interesting fact about her. Her father, of course, is Tully Blanchard, but she was actually raised by Magnum TA.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Her stepdad. Yeah.
I'm like, which is kind of like, okay, that's pretty crazy. From one rival, you go ahead.
Since we're all over the place with this stuff, you know who the man is? Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona he's the man.
King of the death match.
King of the death match, bro. That was incredible shit. He was just on Jericho's podcast.
Was he really?
Yeah. What'd you say, Mike?
I was gonna say I can't believe you paid for that belt and then he dropped it to Moxley.
Yeah. Well, the very next series. You got to think there's something coming out of it. You got to think there's something coming out of it. There, you can't be that build and then say we're done here. So I expect to see something down the road. But man, what a ride! Like he got more eyes on that freaking product than I'm sure they ever had. And then I'm sure he sold a ton. He sold a ton of T-shirts and shit like that. He made some money doing that shit, bro. He took it to Disneyland. He took the fucking title to Disneyland the next day. He did. Like he was talking on, and I saw the pictures, and he replied to me. I showed you guys that. He actually freaking did you? Anthony Matt Cardona replied to me. He posted a picture in his hotel. He was staying at the
California,
Grand Californian, and he's about to, the champ here, about to go eat at the most expensive restaurant here. And I replied him all, Napa Rose is a question. He's all yes, and I was like, oh shit, dude, he got back to me. That's freaking cool. But like he said, he got on a plane. He was still all bloodied. He still hadn't released. Needed stitches and all kinds of shit. But he's like, yeah, I took the belt inside Disneyland, and that's all just selling it, bro. He doesn't need to take the belt to Disneyland. He was pissing off the freaking fan base so they see him get his ass kicked. There's more coming.
He was pissing off every fan from that promotion.
Yeah.
He was like taking it to Disneyland is sacrilege. Come on.
He put the GCW Universal Champion on there, and then the fucking center plate is a spinner.
Well, that's what he said. He said, dude, he's I have been calling them the GCW Universe, and they hate it. They hate it, so I keep doing it. Like he's knowing how to get heat. And the funny thing is, he's like, dude, he's no different. When he goes to Impact and he's the face, it's the same character you see in GCW, just they hate that. So he's like, so I just played it more. And he's like, he's making money, dude. That's awesome for him.
How do you watch?
I applaud him, bro. I applaud him. I'm like, that guy. I'm like, any way to get heat.
Yeah.
That's, seriously, come on.
I don't watch it, dude, but I follow him and he posts a lot. He always is posting. He's always posting stories or he's always posting pictures, and you just follow the storyline along with him.
How do you where do you watch it at though? Is it just YouTube or
isn't it on Fight? Isn't GCW
on
Fight? Yeah. I think it's on Fight. So yeah, to John Moxley was great, and then Nick Gage came out and challenged Moxley. So those two are getting. But I don't think we've seen the end of Matt Cardona. But it was a hell of a ride, and he made a lot of money. So if he decides to do something else, great. That's fine, dude. He went, he cashed in, and let's do something else because he's on Impact too. So
he was the original WWE social media champion.
Yeah, man.
Or the internet,
the internet champion. Yeah, that's what it was. The internet championship.
Yeah, like that belt, man. He had that Facebook logo, YouTube logo, Twitter logo on the side plates of the belt.
He knows how to get himself over. He knows how to make money.
It's like the homage to the original television title of the NWA. They had the ABC, NBC, CBS logos on the side plates. You know,
he even put the Velcro on the strap, which belt snobs hate that, dude. I mean, just the attention to detail he put into pissing these people off is just, chef's kiss, dude.
He pissed everybody off with that belt. He just pissed everybody off.
And he did it on purpose and made money, dude. That's what he did, because he's selling T-shirts and, like, you know, whatever. Like, that. Good for him, dude. Totally. Did you see that crown he came out with? He came out with that fucking, like, that was the shit, dude. Like,
the Macho King, Macho King crown?
Yeah, the Macho King crown, dude. That was like, he's the man, dude. He's the man for that, and he's the man because he's got Chelsea Green.
And bro, I'm surprised.
Hashtag winning.
I'm surprised he didn't come out with
Commando.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't come out with like his own throne with two wrestlers in the front and back holding them.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like just like the Macho Man, you know. That would have been sweet.
Anyway, dude. That was pretty cool. Yeah, no, he's the man in my opinion, dude. He always has been. He gets himself over, and I enjoy the ride. Is what it is. I think we touched. Did we touch everything? I think we touched basically everything, dude.
Oh, one thing I want to say real quick: that MJF and Jericho match, I thought it was dead for a lot of it, and then once Jericho kicked out of that bat shot is when the people started going absolutely apeshit. And I was watching this pay-per-view with my 8-year-old son, which I think might be the first AEW pay-per-view we watched together. And he was off the couch screaming and going crazy, dude. It was so awesome. I think he was more into that than like anything else in the entire show, except for the cage match. But I really enjoyed the finish of all that. I thought it was good.
Yeah, actually, that was weird. It was weird too how they went with the thing and then got the, Audrey. Is it Aubrey or Audrey? I can never remember.
Aubrey.
Yeah, how
Aubrey.
Or he didn't kick out. Match.
Yeah, she missed the foot on the match, and then they restart the thing. That was like, it was a stroke of genius, but it was also weird at the same time. They'd be like, oh, okay,
sure.
you got this, and then they just restart the match.
Hey, going back to the Britt Baker match, did anybody notice the jacket that she was wearing? An homage to HBK?
Her whole outfit was, just the colors alone. Was like, yeah, you said that, and I was like, oh, I see it. Yeah, I see that. She has, it's definitely an homage to the Heartbreak Kid. And then, okay.
Jericho's guitarist.
That was kind of cool.
Oh, man, he fucked up the song, bro, to be honest. Kind of fucked up.
I heard he did. I heard he messed it up.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he miss a verse or something?
I think he messed up at the beginning because Jericho goes over to him and talks and says something to him, and then he keeps walking.
Oh, I missed that.
I thought I heard something about like the audio was off.
Though. Yeah, they couldn't keep up with the song, dude. MJF's entrance was fucking awesome. They're doing the Y2J countdown thing, and you're thinking, oh, Jericho, big entrance. Then it flashes on the screen, Chris Jericho's last match ever. MJF.
Oh, I missed that, dude.
What an asshole. That is an asshole moment, man.
Yeah.
MJF.
People, they fucking hate the Young Bucks now. Nobody's cheering them anymore. They were getting booed out of that building. I mean, I'm impressed how well they've done getting the heat they get. But look at them. Look how they come out. Nick Jackson looks more ridiculous every single week. Like, he has that nose chain thing going to his earring now, and it's like, I swear they must have a blast between them and Omega going to wherever and picking out the most ridiculous things they can find and wearing them out to the ring.
Well, have you seen BTE? They've been doing their shopping at the Burlington store inside Ontario Mills. and also I want to point this out.
That explains it.
This I think was it Matt? He had a pair of $7,000 Air Jordan DRs. They were like $7,000 that his wife gave him, and I guess he had them packed in his bag, and he went to Milwaukee. All of a sudden, they were gone. Turns out that somebody in Ontario Mills, whoever was going through the bags, stole them. From
way.
them. Yeah, they have not. They have the serial number. They just haven't found the corp. They haven't found anybody. Those shoes are probably gone pretty much. But if whoever resells them, if they have that serial number, they will get caught eventually.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know.
Yeah, $7,000
of
of
those. That's a whole other
Jordan.
conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was
Now
a thing.
there's photos of them walking or like coming out with their entrance gear. They're like they're copying other people from the past too. Like even some basketball players. A couple of their outfits.
That whole Space Jam thing, man, in that match. Like, just came out with a basketball rim out there.
I think I was watching one of the BTE episodes. I think Matt or Nick was talking to Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks because he was a special guest on one of the shows.
Yeah.
I guess
Hey, he was going ape shit in the crowd, dude. When he was on Dynamite, he was going ape shit in the crowd, or Rampage, or whatever it was.
Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention, but supposedly I think Matt or Nick told him that we got a desist letter from you guys because supposedly our logo was similar to yours. Milwaukee Bucks and Young Bucks.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say. It's fucking gone. Oh, the Lucha Brothers entrance.
Dude, that thing was
that was
pretty cool. So
one
of the MCs was doing his rehearsal, and he kind of like thought to himself like, "What am I doing here? I don't know if I don't know if I could do this." And then I guess Jericho walked up to him and I grabbed him and said, "You're doing great. This is gonna be awesome." And he said it was the kick in the pants that he needed to like go out there and perform, and wound up putting on like what I thought was like one of the freaking raddest entrances I've ever seen in pro wrestling.
The headdresses
that was a great entrance.
Dude,
awesome.
everything was on point. Way more than the Jericho thing.
Some of those lyrics a little whack though. Like, meet
it
us in the
was.
ring. We're the Mexicans. Come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
That's a little
But
corny.
it was still pretty cool.
Again,
To see,
they're
like,
Mexican. You didn't know?
So am I, bro. And I found it funny.
I think there's a little bit of Eddie homage in there a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Because there always is going to be. And I mean that that kind of takes you back to like when Eddie and some of them got together and they had their little what was it called? What was that group called when Chavo and Eddie and all the Mexicans got together?
The LWO.
Yeah.
Yeah. Latino World Order. Yeah.
Yeah, the entrance just kind of reminded me of that WrestleMania entrance that Mysterio had because he also wore the Aztec headdress.
Is that the debut of the Booyaka?
I want to say it was.
Maybe. Yeah.
the POD team. Booyaka.
Booyaka.
Yeah. I would have liked it if they had like some actual Aztec dancers in the entrance. That would have been sweet as hell too,
Yeah, I mean, all things considering, because they were rapping live there, and it was the two guys, and some of it was in Spanish. It was pretty cool. I mean, it really was. But I heard that line, and I was like, did I just hear that line right? Like, that's kind of corny.
Yeah.
But okay, whatever.
There's not a lot of wrestling songs though that have like the best lyrics, unless it's an actual song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like lyrics for "I'm a Real." Like,
Rick
I don't
Derringer,
know.
man,
Is
come
it
on,
really
Rick
that
Derringer.
great?
No, it sucks.
Yeah, well.
Hey, you leave Motorhead out of this.
Yeah, but that's Motorhead.
There you go, dude.
Orange Cassidy's got that's a Pixies song, is what that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
by the
song's
Pixies.
badass.
Yeah, and then John Moxley's got Wild Thing. So Tony Khan dropping some money.
The major league mix.
Yeah, by X. Yeah.
Yeah, that's by X.
Like, I can't hear that one and just not picture Major League because it's that specific memory.
I remember,
of course.
I remember the debut of that song on AEW, and I think it was a Schiavone or JR, like, throw the heater, Ricky.
Yeah.
That's growing on me. I didn't like that at first when Moxie was coming out the Wild thing, but it's growing on me.
I always think of Major League now.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Too.
Throw the heater, Ricky. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's
I hadn't heard. Is CM Punk's? Because I know it's a song, but does it start the same as it always did? Because I didn't realize how similar the beginning of that song is to I lost it.
Did Tony Khan pay for the rights to that, or did Living Color just give it to him?
No, I'm pretty sure he paid for the rights to that. Yeah. WWE was paying for the rights to that.
Slightly different. WWE had that little scratch in the beginning, and they changed that a bit in AEW, tuning and radio. But other than that, it's pretty much the same version.
Well,
I think
Kevin Owens.
As I recall, in the beginning of that cult of personality theme, I think it had John F. Kennedy talking.
Yeah, it does.
In the beginning.
Mm-hmm. No,
the original, yeah.
Yeah, actually it might. I know it's at the end for sure. It's at the end for sure. Now you got me thinking, man. Don't do that to me. That's the kind of shit you do, and that's the freaking history major in me. That's fuck, I gotta fact check.
Right.
It's all good.
And then you have I think it was Roosevelt, on the Franklin Delano Roosevelt, right at the end of that song. Fear itself. Yeah. I'm a history buff too, Dan.
Yeah, no,
I'm a history buff too. Yeah, definitely.
I don't mind. It's just that's the kind of shit that I need to know that stuff after you say something like that.
Okay, it's all right, bro. It's cool. Just relax.
It's not even for the podcast, bro. It's for me, because I gotta learn.
Huh?
Yeah, it starts off with I didn't hear who it was, but it starts off with a vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an intro. I don't know who it is. I'd have to look that up, but it is a spoken word intro.
All Out.
There you go, man. We were all in for All Out. I can't think of anything else I want to say. Anybody want to say anything?
Triple H's
Heart attack.
Heart attack, if that's what it is.
I don't know what it was.
Is it genetic disorder?
Something like that.
In the podcast on a downer, but fucking Daphne, man.
Oh yeah, bro. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Jesus.
Okay, so that happened, and I felt. I was sad. It's pretty tragic. I didn't realize, I was a fan of her when she was in WCW and stuff like that. I think because she was a dark character, and a lot of us gravitate towards that, with the music that we like and stuff like that. So, I didn't realize she was so popular amongst the talent. I didn't catch that, but my timeline that day, I told you guys, my timeline that day was just wrestling Twitter and wrestling Instagram was just oh my God, I can't believe this. This is, you were so sweet, blah, blah, blah. And, I watched I to put myself in a dark spot, I watched the videos, dude. I know I told you guys that they were there, but I actually watched them. She had, put on a considerable amount of weight. She was much bigger than she was when she was wrestling. I think she was just slightly older than us, or pretty close to the same age. I think Anthony has me as far as age, not by much, but I think you're slightly older than me. But I'm 44, so I know I'm the older of the rest of you guys. She was 46, but gotcha. Had put on some weight. You see it, the video, and she's just on Instagram Live, so she has, she's reaching out like this with the phone and stuff, and just saying basically talking about CTE. They say you can't pick up CTE until after you're dead, and I want my brain to go to Boston, which is where they research all that kind of stuff, and I'm sorry and blah blah blah. Bro, at one point you see her pick up, and it's just a little pistol, maybe a little .22. She cocks it. She cocks the pistol, and then she puts it down, and then covers herself with a blanket, and that's the end. There's 2 videos, and then in the next one she's there too, and she basically tells her cat, no, you got to get away, you got to get away, you got to get away, stuff like that. And she's like, you guys understand that I'm alone. It's heartbreaking, dude. It's heartbreaking to see. When people watched it, they saw her cock the pistol, And that's when everybody freaked out. Because like she's not in a good spot. She has a gun. Like, get there. And the story goes that they got a hold of people to get over there. Her mom was one of the ones that went over there with the police, but they couldn't get in for whatever reason, because legalities and all that kind of stuff. They didn't break down the door. Went back a couple hours later to try to find her. Had managed to gain access to it. They could get in, but this time had to call the fire department because the door was bolted. So the fire department came in, busted the door down.
Wow.
They found her dead in the bedroom. She had shot herself in the chest. That's what actually happened. So yeah, it was like, wow. But like I said, the online presence of that was just like, wow. Go ahead.
No, the important thing to note is that she did shoot herself in the chest, so she was serious about the CTE thing, because that's the same thing that happened with Junior Seau.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he shot himself in the chest because he specifically wanted to make sure his brain went for that research. And the thing that concerns me is that she doesn't have the money. She doesn't have that kind of stature that Junior Seau had. And I hope her brain really does get to where it needs to go, where she wanted it to go, and that it doesn't get caught up in some legality and her brain doesn't go where she wanted it to go. You know what I mean? And so she doesn't have the kind of pull that a Junior Seau would have to make sure that would happen. And that's the first thing I thought of when I did see the confirmation that she had shot herself in the chest, that her CTE concerns were valid.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that why her career ended in TNA? Was because of concussions?
I think it was like she had a neck injury too as well.
Close enough.
I think she. Yeah, so it was like he fused.
And TNA fucked her over.
Yeah.
TNA wouldn't help her pay for anything, and say what you will about the WWE, but anytime somebody gets hurt there, they take care of them. They pay for their surgeries. They pay, they've even paid for people for rehab and shit like that. And TNA just refused to help this woman in any way, and then they ended up settling out of court, but she fucked her whole life up over this, and she was in the ring with that Rosie Lotolove chick. That's the chick that just destroyed her.
Oh, I remember who you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, the one thing that I want to point out is the fact, when she first debuted, she debuted around 97, 98, and around that time, I think the movie Monkey Bone came out. That was like the first time I actually saw Rose McGowan came out. So it kind of seemed like her character was kind of based off the Rose McGowan.
Yeah, I could see that look.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and her look, her style was years ahead of her time, bro. Years.
I ain't gonna lie. She was hot back in her day. She was pretty cute back in her day.
So if you look at everybody like now, we think about people like Rhea Ripley, Ruby Soho, Liv Morgan, Christina Von Eerie, a little bit of that punk, maybe
Paige,
that little punk attitude, fashion. I'm like, that originally came from her. In a way, I remember, I'm like, with all due respect to Luna Vachon, but that's
a little different though. Yeah, no, definitely with being the wild woman versus the dark character. What's Impact's Rosemary? Like Rosemary, there wouldn't be a Rosemary without a Daphne. So yeah.
Mike, so you watched Dynamite earlier. Did you see the bumps that Ruby Soho was taking? Did you notice at all, or did you watch the fight? Did you get to see
the bumps? Yeah. Yep. The few times I've seen Jamie Hayter in the ring lately, she's not really showing a lot of care to her opponents. It's been kind of a bumpy ride.
She was cracking her. She was holding her neck at the end of that match. I personally think that was legit. I think there's a couple of times
she was selling.
Yeah, you definitely can sell if you still can, but I mean, just the way it looked like her knee landed on her neck. There was two moves in that match where I was like, oh shit, that looked like that really hurt. Or, wow, that was a bump. That was a hell of a bump right there. I mean, I would fucking scream.
Like that?
Yeah. It was just something I noticed earlier tonight.
It's true too, because in I know that she had fought in Stardom, and she's fought in Japan, and I know I've seen a few matches with where they have some of the American women who are, taller like Jamie Hayter, and they love to have them for some reason squash the Japanese girls. They destroy them.
Oh, like, Japan likes monsters.
They take some bumps that I don't know how some of those little girls are fucking getting up after them from the hits they take from American women are just massive. And I think that's what the gaijins, as they like to call them, are there for, is to bring that big heat on the Japanese wrestlers. And I just think maybe somebody like Jamie Hayter's been over there for so long, because she's one of the ones that was stuck in Japan, I believe, along with, what's her name? That was her tag team partner. I forget her name now.
They were stuck out there because of COVID?
Now, Bo.
What's that?
Bo Priestley.
Oh, yeah.
I know. B. Priestley. B. Priestley. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was stuck over in Japan with B. Priestley. Because B.
B.
Priestley was supposed to be in AEW at one point, too, but she was there for like 2 matches, and then she went to Japan to do some Stardom shit, and pandemic happened. She got stuck. And I think Jamie Hayter also got stuck over there.
Yeah, B. Priestley's NXT UK now. So.
Yeah, she went home after that. Yeah. She didn't. Oh, wow. She didn't have the greatest run in AEW. Like, she actually isn't she the one that gave Britt Baker the concussion?
She is.
Yeah.
She is. Yeah, that's right.
And is she married to Will Ospreay, or they're engaged? One of the two. They're together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Will Ospreay and B. Priestley. Dude, you know who's together? And just like I finally saw something. I heard rumors about it. Raquel Guerrero, and is it Raquel Guerrero, the NXT Women's Champ, and Adam Scherr. Raquel Gonzalez, yeah.
And who?
Adam Scherr, Braun Strowman.
Oh wow,
they're a couple.
Hey, good for him.
You know what? And Adam Scherr was dating the current NWA Women's Champion for a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What's her name? Allison Kay? I think that's Allison Kay. The one that's the one that's with Nick Aldis.
No, not Allison Kay. It's Camille.
What's her name?
Camille,
yeah.
Yeah.
Camille was dating Braun Strowman for a couple years.
Wow.
That's okay. I saw her post the other day, and he was in it, and the post totally indicated we're together. And I was like, oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, and I heard rumors. I read something that said, like, they might be out together, but they've never actually publicly said anything. Well, it must have been his birthday or something. She posted something, and it was his birthday. And the way he's holding her, no, that's how you hold your girlfriend. You don't hold, just, one of your female friends like that. Not like that. That's not what you do. So, I thought that was
did you guys see Dark, earlier today?
No.
I saw the Acclaim, wrestle for the first time since that whole incident.
Oh, yeah, he's back.
Didn't he read lyrics?
Hey,
he read lyrics off a sheet.
They had a scripted rap for him.
Hey, you know what?
with whack ass rhymes, and not only that, they were trying to make sure you promote Cody's new reality show.
That's funny, dude. That's funny, and that's good storytelling. That's buying it. That's trying to make money off what you did. So I find that funny. But can we talk about how that guy's flow sucks? His flow sucks, dude.
He's never liked him.
I've never liked his flow, dude.
He's never liked him.
Eminem, he is not. Like, at all. Eminem, he is not, dude. His flow, like, cause Thugonomics is better, bro. Honestly, Cena's a better rapper, and that's not saying much.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm glad you did.
What? That Cena's a better rapper?
That Cena's better.
Oh, dude, that guy's horrible. Like, if he's coming up with it on the top of his head, great, dude. Props to him. His delivery, bro, I can rap better. Give me some lines and I'll flow better than that fool. Cause like, I'm just like, dude, how is this guy over? Like, oh, this guy's, dude, he cannot flow.
Let me call Brian Hebner, man. Maybe he'll drop a beat for you.
Maybe. But bro, that's the kind of shit I expect to hear on SoundCloud. Like, for real. Like, homie's a SoundCloud rapper. That's what it's a good thing he's a wrestler because he ain't gonna make it as a rapper. like for real. You gotta get your SoundCloud downloads, bro. Cause no. I ain't playing that game. I was like, this guy's he's not good. Now, no one ever says it, but it's me. This guy's not good.
Interesting fact about Castro, actually, he almost He actually he played 1 year of minor league baseball actually before he quit, so he could go into wrestling.
Vic with the deep cuts.
Hey man.
So he shares the distinction with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Pretty much in a way.
And,
pretty much. He was actually.
I'm sorry, and Tim Tebow.
Yeah, and Tim Tebow.
There you go.
It doesn't get much deeper cut than that, bro.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow. Anyway. All right, last call. Anything else? Anybody want to bring up? We're rambling for almost an hour and a half.
Got it.
I was gonna say Adam Cole's new theme, bro. What'd you think of Cole's new theme?
I gotta give it another listen, man. To be honest with you.
Oh, come on, dude.
Yeah. Well, I know. I was caught up in the moment, dude. I was like, dude, what is gonna happen here? He comes out like he's gonna attack Kenny, and then he super kicks Jungle Boy, and then he's like, this guy's one of our best friends. They lay the smooches on him, and it was like that was the moment, dude. That honestly, that had to be the moment of his career. That place erupted when he went down and came up for the Adam Cole baby. That shit was loud as fuck, dude.
It's all about the boo.
Yeah. So when
Adam Cole, baby.
Is that how it went?
Yeah, that's.
I'm
the
about
way
that then. I'm about that then. Because you freaking know that Undisputed Era had the best freaking music, dude. In NA, that shit was fucking badass. Like, and I saw him live too, and like everybody, boom, the entire crowd, like that was the shit, dude. When they came out to that shit. So
hey, speaking of themes, real quick, just one more thing. The thing that happened with Gangrel.
Oh yeah, he got screwed. That was a payday.
Up, man.
That was a guaranteed payday.
Up, man. I would have loved to have seen that.
Thank you, Edge.
I would have loved to have seen that. Oh well.
I know what you're talking about, but you're gonna have to remind me what happened. I know he was supposed to be.
They were gonna have Gangrel show up on AEW and kind of do the same Brood entrance with the fire, and then Edge did it at SummerSlam, so they said never mind.
Okay.
Yeah. He already had his plane booked to Milwaukee, and then last minute they had to cancel him.
Yeah,
bummer.
Yeah.
It's TK, man. I'm sure he got a nice little severance package for your trouble.
He probably did.
Yeah, they probably give him tickets to a Dynamite.
No, he got paid.
Oh yeah, no, I did read that. Yeah, I did read that. He still paid him. That's not his fault, dude. That's totally not his fault. No, at all. So that's okay. I'd take that payday too. I'm like, well, shit. Okay.
I think even Edge called him, and he said he felt, because he heard about it, he felt bad about the situation. So he apologized.
Other than that thing with Lita, Edge is pretty high class.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That thing with Lita really,
that one blemish on his record. Edge is pretty high class. Other than that, so all good. All right, gentlemen.
Highlander Endgame.
All right.
Oh. Once again, I say last call. It's 2 a.m.
Full Gear, bro. We'll probably see each other again for Full Gear.
Yeah, unless something comes up. I've slowly started to pay attention again to the E, only because the Roman Reigns storylines are pretty decent. There's a couple decent things going on. They're like, okay, so I'm paying attention again. I still fast forward through a lot, but I'm paying attention.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So we'll see. Or a couple months ago, I was like, I ain't watching shit. Something came up that somebody's like, that segment was really good, so I watched it, and then whatever. I want to see what happens with Brock Lesnar and his man bun, so we'll see. We'll eventually get to something. Yeah, that top knot, bro. That's a popular cut right now. Honestly, that's a popular cut right now.
Is that a popular cut,
bro?
Is that a popular cut?
I mean, it's an undercut technically.
Yeah, so. But do a lot of dudes wear it up there?
Fucking trash bag handles, what that is. When you fucking look at that thing, it looks like a goddamn trash bag handle. I'm personally not a fan of it, but I mean, it is a thing. If you're asking me, is it a thing? Yes, it's a thing.
Okay.
Is it a popular thing? I mean,
no, we're all done.
Don't give me your millennial mumble jumble talk at me.
Yeah. Mike bounced. I noticed Mike bounced. So we're out. It's a
wrap it up.
Yeah, it's all good.
Kayfabe Culture is part of the Extraordinary Culture podcast universe. You can email us at exocast@yahoo.com. We're also on social media. You can find us on Instagram at exoculture. We're on Facebook at exocult. We're on Twitter at exocultcast. You can listen to Extraordinary Culture or Kayfabe Culture on PodOmatic, iTunes, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify. You can YouTube Extraordinary Culture Podcast, or you can ask your smart home device to play the Extraordinary Culture Podcast.